Divine doors of miracles. 3 supernatural signs heaven has confirmed your breakthrough is near. In a quaint English village, where cobblestone streets whispered tales of old, lived Emma, a devoted mother tethered to hope and heartache. By night, she knelt at her humble altar, a candle flickering before the image of St. Jude, her intercessor. With each prayer, she yearned for healing not just of her body, wearied by illness, but for her troubled relationship with her teenage son. Each plea for guidance seemed lost in the shadows, a void haunting her spirit. Then, one chilly evening, as the sun dipped low, Emma felt something shift. It began with a serendipitous gust of wind that blew through the village, carrying the soulful notes of a hymn from the church. She closed her eyes, drawn by the melody that felt eerily like a warm embrace. Could it be? She pondered, a small flicker of hope igniting within her. Moments later, an elderly woman approached, eyes shimmering with insight. "I sense the heavens are preparing a miracle for you, dear," she whispered before disappearing into the crowd. As days turned into weeks, tales of miraculous healings began to swirl around Emma's community. A young man who had suffered a tragic accident stood during service, whole and walking, his voice trembling as he recounted his truth. It was him. "He heard my cries," he shouted. Emma felt a surge of hope lit within her heart, yet doubt crept alongside it, as the new pastor's fiery sermons questioned the essence of divine purpose. "Have you truly sought his will?" he preached. The tension coiled around Emma, leaving her breathless and confused. "Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Despite the unsettling words of the pastor, Emma's heart remained open. The chapel she had stumbled upon last month beckoned her back, its forgotten majesty whispered of solace. Inside, sunlight streamed through stained glass, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. A wave of warmth washed over her, as if angels surrounded her in their embrace. Each prayer felt more profound here, the atmosphere pregnant with promise. Visions flickered in her prayers, a garden blooming, paths multiplying, revealing glimpses of hope just beyond reach. But when she visited the local clinic, her heart heavy with trepidation, her world wavered anew. The doctor's words wrapped around her heart like a cold hand. "You have a long road ahead," they stated, eyes sympathetic yet distant. Emma felt her spirit sinking, isolation threatening to extinguish her flickering faith. Was her relentless devotion in vain? Yet, just as despair threatened to claim her, she remembered the eyes of those who had shared their miraculous testimonials. Their stories echoed in her mind, one after another, lovingly weaving a divine tapestry that enveloped her. Perhaps, these signs she had witnessed were not mere coincidences after all, but invitations urging her to grasp the miracles waiting at her doorstep. Standing at the precipice of uncertainty, Emma sensed that her journey was just beginning. She felt the gentle tug of redemption and the promise of mending broken relationships. Even as a child innocently delivered a cryptic message during a church service, "Miracles come to those who believe." Her heart raced. What if these manifestations were only the dawn of something greater? Would she have the courage to walk through these divine doors? Emma took a deep breath, poised to step into the transforming light that awaited her on the other side. As the days stretched into an unfolding tapestry of light and shadow, Emma felt the stirrings of change within her soul. She often returned to the chapel, each visit reinforcing her faith. The flickering candlelight guided her thoughts, the subtle whispers of prayers uplifted her spirit. With each prayer, Emma began to feel a connection not just to St. Jude but to a larger, divine narrative playing out in her life. One evening, as twilight painted the sky with strokes of gold and lavender, she arrived at the chapel to find the old woman from before sitting quietly in the rear pew. Heart racing, Emma approached her, feeling as if this woman, with her wise yet gentle eyes, carried whispers from heaven. "Have you felt it?" the woman asked, as if knowing Emma's spirit longed for a kindred heart. "Felt what?" Emma replied hesitantly, though she suspected she knew the answer. The pull of divine possibilities, the miracles that await, she affirmed softly. Emma's heart quickened at the woman's words. Could it be that the miracles sung of in hymns and shared in testimonies were truly about to unfold in her life? Sometimes, the woman continued, it takes a leap of faith. Each prayer you utter opens doors that seem locked. But you must believe, dear. With that, Emma sensed a door deep within her heart opening. Faith mingled with hope, and for a brief moment, clarity flowed through her like a warm stream. In the following days, Emma immersed herself in community life. She attended the church services, not just hoping to receive, but eager to support others in their journeys. Each testimony shared renewed her spirit, forming connections that expanded her understanding of the miraculous. The stories were like breadcrumbs, leading her ever closer to her divine purpose. One Sunday, standing in the church surrounded by familiar faces, Emma felt a longing to share her own struggles. As the pastor called on members to speak of their hardships, she rose slowly, the weight of her worries swirling around her. With each step to the front, whispers of doubt chased her, but she pushed them aside. Hello, everyone, she began, her voice trembled but unwavering. I'm Emma, and I've been struggling with illness and the distance between me and my son. For so long, I've prayed for healing, not only for myself but for our relationship. She paused, the silence of the congregation wrapping around her heart like a blanket. But lately, I've felt something shift inside me. I believe that miracles are near. The room erupted in soft murmurs, not of skepticism, but of understanding. People nodded as she spoke of hope, of faith that seemed to emerge from shadows. Tears glistened at the corners of her eyes, not from despair, but from connection and courage. As she stepped back, warmth spread through her chest. Nothing felt more divine than being among believers who resonated with her journey. Yet, something deeper tugged at her heart. Is this truly the moment? She wondered as she left the service. That night, Emma knelt again by her altar, the candle's glow illuminating her upturned face. She wrestled with her emotions, allowing herself to feel the weight of everything: faith, doubt, love, and fear. Lord, she prayed, if miracles are truly here, show me what I am to do next. As she finished, the candle flickered violently, casting shadows against the walls like divine fingerprints. In that moment, something began to shift in her spirit. It felt as if a long-silenced truth was breaking through. But even as the night enveloped her, one question lingered in her heart: what would her next step be in this unfolding journey towards her breakthrough? In the quiet hours of the night, when everything seemed to hold its breath, Emma remained at her altar. The flickering candlelight danced gently, its warmth wrapping around her like a tender embrace. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply, feeling the weight of her prayers hover in the air. Suddenly, an image formed in her mind, her son's face illuminated with joy. It sent a wave of longing rushing through her. Please, Lord, she whispered, yearning for the distance between them to close. The candle flickered again, brighter this time, almost as if responding to her plea. A thought sprang forth in her heart: could it be that her healing journey was not just for her alone but for her son too? She sensed that the ties binding their struggles together were woven into a tapestry of divine purpose. As dawn broke, the chapel bathed in soft light, Emma woke renewed. She felt propelled to step out with her faith, to search for the divine signs that could guide her closer to those miracles. Throughout the week, Emma became attentive to everything around her. The gentle chirping of birds outside her window felt like a symphony, inviting her to notice each detail. She listened to the rustling of leaves, the laughter of children in the park. Even the conversations at the marketplace held a deeper significance. Each exchange seemed infused with meaning. Her heart raced as she returned to the chapel one afternoon. The old woman, now a familiar figure, sat in the same rear pew, a knowing smile illuminating her face. Emma couldn't resist. She approached her. I believe something is shifting in me, Emma said, excitement spilling into her voice. But I'm searching for signs. How will I know my miracles are near? The old woman chuckled softly, her eyes sparkling with wisdom. Ah, dear Emma, signs often come when least expected. They may not be grand gestures but rather gentle nudges of the spirit. Remain watchful. As she left the chapel, Emma felt more alive than ever. She walked home along the sun-drenched paths, her senses heightened. Every step resonated with possibility. That evening, as she prepared dinner, the TV in the next room played soft music. Suddenly, a familiar tune filled her heart, the melody of a hymn she loved. She felt a warm peace descend upon her, as if a divine hug enveloped her. Grabbing her phone, she tapped into her messaging app and sought out her son's number, fingers hovering over the screen. Then, with a breath, she sent a simple message, "Hey, thinking of you today. Love you always." Emma couldn't shake the feeling that, between the verses of the hymn and her message, she had crossed a threshold. Days sped into nights, and the ripples of that act filled her heart with hope. She started volunteering at a local shelter, sharing meals and laughter with those in need. It was in those joyful exchanges that she began to lose her own burdens. Each smile, each grateful look filled her with warmth. But, deeper within, her heart stirred with anticipation. She felt a moment was approaching, one that would change everything, like the last piece of a puzzle. One evening, as she returned from the shelter, she veered toward the chapel. Moonlight illuminated the door as she stepped in, the familiar scent of candles and wood evoking a profound sense of belonging. "Lord," she prayed softly, kneeling, "I have faith in your promise. Reveal to me the signs I need to take the next step." As silence wrapped around her, an inexplicable feeling of excitement mingled with longing filled the air. And then, from the choir loft, she heard the faint sound of someone singing her son's favorite hymn. What did the song mean for her life's path? Might it signal a renewal in their relationship, or perhaps a calling for something that lay ahead for both of them? The candle flickered one more time, seemingly in response to her unspoken questions. What revelation would beckon in the silence that followed? Emma paused, heart racing. The hymn, soft and pure, echoes through the chapel like a gentle caress. Each note whispered promises of hope, renewal, and connection. She looked up, eyes scanning the loft. But it was empty. The lingering sound was filled with a warmth she could not explain, enveloping and cradling her in a cocoon of divine love. Was it just the wind playing tricks? Or was it truly a message sent directly from above? Taking a deep breath, she steadied herself. "Lord, what do you want me to see?" she murmured, her voice trembling with anticipation. The candle on her altar flickered once more, casting playful shadows across the stone wall. Emma felt determined, a feeling that surged through her like a rush of springtime air after a winter frost. With newfound energy, she left the chapel. Her footsteps quickened as she took the path towards home, the night's promise urging her onward. Days passed and the world outside her window dazzled with the colors of early spring. Everywhere she looked, new life burst forth. Blossoms unveiled their beauty, and the sun's warm fingers caressed her skin as she sat on her porch, savoring the moments of joy unfolding around her. This vibrant life echoed the stirrings within her, a transformation quietly taking place, a shift not only for her but for her son as well. Then one afternoon, while volunteering, Emma met Maxwell, a young boy who reminded her of her son. His laughter was bright, but his eyes spoke of shadows. She knelt beside him, noticing the way he picked at his food, insecurity woven into the fabric of his small frame. "Do you like the soup?" she gently asked, trying to elicit a smile that he shrugged, but she sensed a flicker of hope within him. "It's okay," he mumbled, as a shy grin peeked through the clouds of worry that in that moment, a wave of compassion washed over her, igniting something deep inside. She pulled out a small notepad from her bag, a tool she found could work wonders with the children. Emma began doodling playful creatures, and soon, laughter danced through the air between them. "Can I draw too?" Maxwell asked, eyes wide with curiosity. "Of course." "Here," Emma said, handing him the notepad. As he took the pencil, their connection deepened. It felt like a bridge, built on shared joy, laughter rising from both their hearts. Their spirits began to join, sewing threads of hope for the future. After their time at the shelter, Emma noticed a strange warmth blossoming within her. A profound realization dawned, the signs she sought were already manifesting. Love, in its purest form, had begun knitting itself into her life, just as it was meant to. Later that night, as Emma prepared for bed, she glanced outside. The moon hung high above, bathing everything in silver. Something pulled at her, a soft voice, calling her to the chapel once again. There, in the warm glow, she lit her candle and knelt. The notes of her son's hymn resonated in her heart. Dear Lord, guide me. This connection I feel, is it just the beginning? A gentle breeze drifted through the open window, and in that breath of fresh air, she sensed that her prayers had begun to reveal a path. What lay beyond was uncertain, yet thrilling. With her heart open, Emma felt life stirring once more. Would this lead her closer to her son or unveil another extraordinary miracle? The peace settled around her, and the flicker of the flames surged brighter. The future loomed ahead, woven with promise and mystery. What supernatural revelation awaited her just around the corner? The next morning, Emma awoke to the golden light streaming through her window. It felt like a blessing, washing over her and filling her with warmth. Her heart swelled with gratitude as she thought of the children at the shelter, especially Maxwell. Their laughter from the day before rang in her ears like a sweet melody, urging her to rise and embrace the day. She slipped into her clothes, a smile painting her face as the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through her little kitchen. Today, she decided, would be a day of connection, not just with her son, but with the world around her. Placing an intention in her heart, she murmured a simple prayer, thanking God for the moments she had experienced and asking for guidance in all her interactions. Stepping outside, she was greeted by the gentle rustle of leaves and the soft chirping of birds. The air was crisp, a gentle breeze blew, carrying with it the scent of blooming flowers. Emma closed her eyes for a moment and inhaled deeply, feeling a tug at her soul, pulling her toward the chapel again. Still caught in the magic of the moment, she walked towards the familiar stone structure. With each step, she could feel an increasing sense of purpose within her. Arriving at the chapel, she slowly pushed the door open, the creaking hinges breaking the stillness of the sacred space. Inside, the sunlight filtered through stained glass windows, casting colorful patterns on the cool stone floor. Emma approached the altar, her heart racing in anticipation. Kneeling down, she felt a presence, a warm, enveloping comfort that surged up from the depths of her being. God, show me the way, she whispered, her voice filled with hope. I know you have plans for me. Open my eyes to see, and my heart to believe. As she prayed, a sudden flutter disrupted the tranquil atmosphere. A dove landed gracefully outside the window, cooing sweetly. Emma's gaze raptly followed the bird, and an inexplicable joy washed over her as she sensed it was a sign. Birds often symbolize peace and renewal, and she understood this moment was a reminder of the transformation taking place within her. Just as the dove took flight, her thoughts turned to her son. She felt a strong urge to reach out to him, to nurture their bond deeply. In that instant, she decided to invite him for a picnic at the park, hoping the fresh air and shared moments would bring them closer. After gathering a few treats and a warm blanket, she rushed to her car, excitement bubbling within her. The sun shone brighter, illuminating her path as she drove. Moments later, she was at her son's school, heart racing with anticipation. She waited patiently for him to emerge. When the bell rang, she scanned the crowd of children until she spotted him, an expression of curiosity painted on his face as he looked around for her. Mom! He beamed, running towards her, full of joy. Hi, sweetheart. I have a surprise for you. His eyes widened. A surprise? Yes. A picnic in the park. She exclaimed, her spirit soaring with the revelation that this small act could weave deeper threads of love between them. As they settled on a grassy hill, sharing laughter and stories, Emma felt the warmth of their connection grow stronger. Each conversation lifted the veil of distance that had hung between them since his father's passing. Suddenly, she noticed him watching the clouds. Mom, look. That one looks like an angel. His innocent observation filled her heart with wonder. It was as if heaven was affirming their time together, a sweet reminder of divine love enveloping them. Emma marveled at the beauty of the moment, tears welling up in her eyes. This wasn't just a picnic, it was a turning point, a step closer to healing. As they finished their snacks, Maxwell turned to her. Can we do this more often? His voice was steady, filled with hope. Absolutely, my love, she replied, her heart bursting. But beneath her joy lay a question: what would it take to heal their hearts completely? What further paths awaited them in this journey of discovery and connection? The afternoon sun began to dip low, illuminating the world in a golden hue. The mystery hung in the air enticingly, blending their laughter with divine whispers of promise. Little did Emma know, the next phase of their journey was about to unfold, setting the stage for miracles she had yet to envision. As the shadows lengthened and the sun dipped below the horizon, Emma and Maxwell lay back on the blanket, gazing into the sky. The clouds had transformed into a palette of fiery oranges and soft purples, painting the heavens with a masterpiece that spoke of the divine. They sat together, a peaceful silence wrapping around them, each enjoying the moment that seemed to stretch for eternity. Maxwell abruptly broke the spell of quiet contemplation. "Mom, sometimes I feel like there's something more out there, something good waiting for us." There was a depth in his young eyes that mirrored a wisdom far beyond his years. Her heart fluttered at his words. "You might be right, my love. There always seems to be a promise in the air, doesn't there?" He nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Like the dove we saw at the chapel?" She smiled softly, realizing how in tune he was with the world around him. "Exactly, sweetheart. That dove was a sign of hope and new beginnings, a reminder that we are never truly alone." As they talked about dreams and what lay ahead, Emma felt an inner stirring of vibrant hope igniting within her spirit. Maybe today was just the beginning of something great. After their picnic, they packed up their things and headed home, but all Emma could think about was how to nurture this new bond with her son. She wanted to create spaces for joy and laughter, a life filled with moments that would help them heal. While she drove, her mind raced with ideas. Movie nights, baking cookies, even simple things like reading together at bedtime, the possibilities were endless. That night, as Emma tucked Maxwell into bed, she caught a glimpse of the calendar hanging on the wall. It was nearly a month since they had sought solace at the shelter. She remembered the children, their laughter, their innocence. A thought struck her. What if we could do something special for them? Maxwell's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Like what, Mom?" "Maybe we can organize a fun day at the shelter. We can bring treats, play games, and just spend time with them. What do you think?" His eyes widened, hope illuminating his face. "Yes. Can we take balloons? And maybe cupcakes?" "Of course," Emma replied, laughter bubbling up. "We can make it a whole event." As she stepped out of his room, her heart soared. This simple idea felt like a calling, a divine spark igniting a greater purpose. She instinctively reached for her phone to jot down her thoughts, feeling an overwhelming gratitude wash over her. But as she began to plan, a lingering fear stirred deep within her, a question of whether they had enough to give or if they could truly make a difference. What if the children were not ready for joy? What if past pains overshadowed their happiness? Emma decided to take those worries to prayer. Kneeling down, she placed her hands before her, her heart racing. "Lord, I trust in your guidance," she whispered, seeking peace amid uncertainty. In that moment, the faintest sound echoed in the stillness. It was the gentle fluttering of wings like that dove from earlier. Lost in the reverie, Emma opened her eyes, half expecting to see a bird, but the room was still. Yet there was a palpable presence surrounding her, a reminder of divine reassurance. The stirring inside her intensified, as if the universe was acknowledging her desire to serve. She had felt signs before, but this was different. This was a call to action, an invitation to step boldly into the realm of possibilities, and so, with renewed determination, she began discussing plans with Maxwell the next day. Each idea felt more vibrant than the last, transforming nerves into joyful anticipation. That evening, just as they laid their heads down to rest, a sudden thought struck Emma. What if their day of giving opened extraordinary doors? What miracles might await just beyond their reach? As she drifted into sleep, the question echoed softly in the chambers of her heart. What if the very act of giving is the key to their healing and theirs to hers? Unbeknownst to Emma, the journey had only just begun. Opportunities for transformation were around the corner, waiting for her to step through. The morning sun broke through the curtains, illuminating Emma's room in warm hues of gold. She awoke with a sense of purpose that quickened her heartbeat. The thought of the upcoming day filled her with an electric excitement. Maxwell rushed in, his eyes sparkling. "Mom! Is today the day we go to the shelter?" His enthusiasm was infectious. "Yes, sweetheart. We've got so much to do before we head out. Are you ready to make some magic happen?" Together, they made a plan, buzzing with energy and hope. They decided to bake cupcakes, chocolate and vanilla, with as many colors of frosting as they could find. Emma watched Maxwell as he mixed the batter, his small hands stirring vigorously. "It's gonna be the best day ever," he declared, his cheeks flushed with delight. "Just think about the smiles on their faces," she replied, feeling a wave of warmth envelop her. She envisioned the children's laughter ringing out, the joy of shared moments lighting up their day. Yet, as they set to work, a flicker of doubt nagged at the corners of Emma's mind. What if it wasn't enough? What if, despite their efforts, the children didn't feel the love they intended to share? She shook her head, dismissing the worry like a pesky fly. "No," she whispered to herself, "this is about creating space for memories, moments of joy." As they decorated the cupcakes with rainbow sprinkles, she prayed silently, "Lord, let our gifts touch their hearts." Each cupcake felt like a prayer, a little offering born out of love and faith. Once the kitchen chaos was cleared away, they piled the treats into cardboard boxes and gathered balloons of every color. The car was soon bursting with palpable excitement and a sense of purpose, not just from the sugary confections, but from the anticipation of what lay ahead. As they drove to the shelter, Emma felt an undeniable pull, a certitude that God was in this with them. The thought was like a soft whisper in her heart, assuring her that every step of this journey was divinely orchestrated. When they arrived, the air was thick with the scent of fresh cut grass and laughter echoed across the playground. Children were running about, their carefree spirits a stark contrast to the worries that often plagued her. Maxwell hopped out, his heart a beacon for anyone who wished to join in the fun. "Look, Mom. They already look happy." And they did. Seeing the children at play struck a chord deep within her, a reminder that joy was a gift freely given, waiting to be embraced. As they set up their table, balloons fluttering in the gentle breeze, Emma felt herself encompassed by a warmth from above, a presence that felt both familiar and comforting. "Hey, who wants a cupcake?" Maxwell shouted, his voice cutting through the air like a cheerful trumpet. Children began to gather, eyes wide with anticipation. One little girl approached shyly. "Can I help?" she asked, glancing at the colorful display. "Of course." Maxwell grinned, holding out a pastel-frosted treat. As they dove into the day's activities, games, laughter, frosting-covered faces, Emma was awestruck. Each smile felt like a piece of her heart mending, each giggle a moment of divine connection. In that vibrant space of laughter and love, she noticed a child who sat on the sidelines, watching the festivities with eyes full of longing. It was as if she sensed a story waiting to be shared, hidden behind a veil of uncertainty. "Would you like to join us?" Emma asked, kneeling down to meet the girl's gaze. "We have room for everyone." The girl hesitated but then nodded, a flicker of hope igniting in her eyes. Emma witnessed something beautiful unfold. As she welcomed the girl, the other children came over, wrapping her in their warmth and laughter. In that moment, Emma understood. The act of giving wasn't just about treats or games, it was about creating a safe space for healing, for connection. As the sun began its descent, casting an orange glow over the scene, she felt a sense of fulfillment. But amidst the joy, she wondered what more was God planning for them? Were there deeper layers of healing waiting to emerge? And perhaps, just perhaps, this day was only the beginning of something far greater than either she or Maxwell could have imagined. What awaited them on this unfolding journey? Unbeknownst to Emma, the divine doors of miracles were about to swing wide open. As the afternoon sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the playground, Emma closed her eyes for a moment. She took a deep breath, inhaling the fragrance of blooming flowers and laughter. Each sound, every giggle, seemed like a prayer in the air, rising to the heavens. Maxwell was still engaged, his laughter ringing out like a joyful bell. He was in his element, connecting with the other children, not merely sharing cupcakes but sharing his soul. Emma felt her heart swell. There was beauty in this simple act of kindness. Mom, can we play tag? Maxwell called out, his face aglow with happiness. Of course, buddy. Just be gentle with the little ones. She replied, watching him dart off with a pack of kids, their shouts mingling with the rustling leaves. There was a holy reverence in the air, a reminder that they were touching lives in ways they could not fully understand. Then, as Emma tidied up the cupcake table, she spotted the little girl they had invited to join. The child was hesitant at first, her eyes darting nervously, but there was a spark of joy beginning to emerge. Emma walked over, crouching down so they could see eye to eye. "What is your name, sweetie?" she asked gently. "Lila," the girl whispered, her cheeks flushing. "Lila, I love that name. It's beautiful, just like you. Would you like to help me with the balloons?" Emma offered, and Lila nodded. A glimmer of hope filled her gaze. As they smoothed out the balloons and secured them to the table, Emma could see Lila begin to relax. They laughed as they accidentally let a few float away into the blue sky, their giggles mingling with the gentle breeze. Emma prayed silently, "Lord, let her heart feel the warmth of your love today." Suddenly, a commotion broke out behind her. A larger group of children had gathered, and Emma turned to see what was happening. A boy stood in the center, a look of distress etched on his face, his ankle twisted awkwardly. "My leg. I can't walk," he cried, tears streaming down his cheeks. Emma felt a rush of protective instinct surge through her. Without thinking, she moved towards the boy. "Hey there, it's okay," she said softly, kneeling beside him. "Let us take a deep breath together." Maxwell and several other children gathered around them, whispering encouragement. Emma placed a soothing hand on the boy's leg. "Let us pray, okay? God loves you and he wants you to be okay. Dear Lord," she began, "we come to you right now, asking for your healing touch. Please ease his pain, comfort him, and bring him peace." Just then, the child's face began to soften, confusion melting into something gentler. Emma felt an undeniable warmth fill the air, like a balm of peace flowing through them. The playfulness around them became a sacred space, as if heaven itself had leaned in closer. The boy took a deep breath and suddenly smiled. "I think it feels better," he exclaimed, testing his foot. To the amazement of everyone, he stood up, gingerly at first, and then with more confidence. "I can walk." Cheers erupted. Children rushed to congratulate him, surrounding the boy in a flurry of excitement. Emma's heart danced along with theirs, a deep joy enveloping her. In that instant, she realized that their small acts of kindness were woven into something much bigger. "Did you see that?" Maxwell piped up, eyes sparkling. "That was so cool, Mom. Prayer really works." Emma nodded, tears of gratitude stinging her eyes. "Yes, it does, my love. God is good." But as she embraced this wonder of joy, another thought tugged at her heart. If this moment was touched by the divine, what else might God have in store for them today? Perhaps this was just a glimpse of the miracles waiting to unfold. As laughter filled the air once more, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that they were on a divine threshold, just one step away from unveiling a deeper purpose. What had they yet to discover together? The day was far from over, and the sweet scent of miracles lingered on the horizon. As the sun dipped lower, casting a warm golden hue across the playground, Emma found herself enveloped in a wave of peace. The laughter of children floated around her like a melody, threading joy into the fabric of the day. In that moment, she felt the weight of earlier fears lift. Something divine was stirring in the air. "Lila, do you want to join the game with us?" A voice called out, snapping Emma from her reverie. It was Maxwell, his energy drawing the shy girl in. Emma watched as Lila hesitated just a beat before shaking her head slowly. "It's okay, sweetie," Emma reassured her, gently. "You can take your time. Just remember, no one will force you." Emma's heart yearned for Lila, feeling that the girl needed this moment of belonging. She whispered a quick prayer, "Lord, help her find confidence. Let her know she is loved." Within the bustling excitement, Emma saw Lila's eyes brighten at Maxwell's unwavering kindness. The innocence of children had a way of shining light into the darkest corners of doubt. As Lila slowly stepped forward, Emma's heart swelled again, affirming that God was indeed working unseen and working well. Cheers erupted once more when Maxwell tagged Lila, surprising her. A radiant smile washed over her face, and for the first time, laughter joined the group without reservation. Emma's gratitude spilled forth like a gentle stream. But then, amidst the childlike joy around her, a sense of anticipation began to weave its way into Emma's spirit. There was more to discover, not just for her, but for every soul present. She looked around, excitement igniting her heart. What if this playful joy was merely the doorway to an even greater experience, a divine adventure waiting to be unveiled? The children were still bustling around, but Emma felt a sudden pull to the far side of the playground. With Maxwell and Lila momentarily absorbed in the game, she decided to venture toward the towering oak tree that stood majestically at the edge of the park. There was an unusual stillness, as if the air were thickening with expectation. Kneeling at the tree's base, Emma placed a hand against the rough bark, sensing the life coursing through it. "Lord, what do you have in store for us?" she murmured. At that instant, a gentle breeze swept through the branches, rustling the leaves above. It beckoned her as if answering her whispered question. Emma stood, her heart racing. Could this be a sign? Just then, she caught sight of a small old wooden box that lay hidden among the roots. Curiosity piqued, she approached. "What is this?" Emma pondered aloud. The box seemed to radiate an energy she could not quite explain, an invitation to uncover a treasure not of gold, but of wisdom. "We should open it," she thought, but a wave of hesitation washed over her. What if it held something profound, something meant to change the course of their day? In that moment, she realized the gravity of her surroundings and the beautiful unpredictability of God's plans. With a glance back toward the playful laughter behind her, she took a deep breath. Having Maxwell and Lila at her side would surely bring the strength needed for whatever was inside. As she knelt there, Emma's heart pounded with the weight of possibility. What gifts lay hidden within the wooden box? What was God preparing to unveil? Taking another deep breath, she glanced back at her son. Would they step into the unknown together, or would they let this moment slip away? Emma's mind swirled with questions, excitement bubbling up inside. "Come on," she whispered to the tree, "let us see what wonders await." And just as the laughter behind her echoed in harmony with her thoughts, Emma felt a stirring in her spirit, a glimpse of divine affirmation. This was only the beginning. What would they find when they opened the box? With trembling hands, Emma brushed away the dirt that had accumulated over the years on the small wooden box. It was a relic of history, a whisper from the past holding secrets longing to be revealed. Her heart raced, echoing her anticipation. As she called out to Maxwell and Lila, the children came rushing over, curiosity lighting their eyes. "Mom, what did you find?" Maxwell asked, his voice brimming with excitement. "I'm not sure, but it feels special," Emma replied, kneeling as she carefully lifted the box. The wood was worn and weathered, yet it exuded warmth, as if it had cradled numerous stories over the years. "Let us open it together." Lila peered over, her eyes wide with wonder. What if it's a treasure? Or a secret message from the past? Maxwell exclaimed, caught up in the moment. With heartbeats echoing in unison, they raised the lid together. As it creaked open, a soft glow seemed to emanate from within, enveloping them in a gentle light. Inside lay a collection of handwritten notes, each carefully folded, yellowed with age but still legible. Emma reached in, feeling a profound sense of reverence wash over her. One by one, she unfolded the notes, her breath catching in her throat. Each piece was filled with heartfelt messages, prayers penned by past visitors of the playground, a tapestry of hope, dreams, and divine connections. "These are intentions, prayers for joy and healing," she gasped, reading a few aloud. "Each one sent love into the world. How beautiful. Can we pray too?" Lila asked, her voice laced with innocence and sincerity. "Absolutely, sweet Lila." Emma beamed. "Let us add our prayers to this collection." Gathering in a circle, Emma led them in prayer. She invoked the spirit of love, healing, and connection. The children's voices rose softly, mingling with the whispers of the leaves above. They surrendered their hopes and dreams into the atmosphere, an act of unity that felt ethereal. When they finished, Maxwell's face lit up. Maybe we can start our own letters, Mom. For the next kids who find this box. Emma's heart swelled with pride. What a wonderful idea, buddy. Each letter can hold our love for them. As they turned to gather materials to write their own messages, Emma felt an undeniable shift within her. The doubts and fears that had once clouded her vision began to evaporate. Here, in this sacred moment, with her son and Lila, she sensed the deepening bond replacing the distance that had lingered for too long. They were connected, not just in their joys but in their shared purpose. Boldly, Emma took another step forward. You know what, children? We can make these notes a part of our special day. We can invite all the children to write their own wishes and prayers for each other. Wouldn't that be amazing? Yes. Maxwell shouted, enthusiasm radiating. Lila's smile answered, a spark igniting in her bright eyes. Under the sprawling oak tree, laughter and creativity flowed freely as they crafted their notes, each letter layered with love. Word by word, the children poured their hearts out on paper, releasing intentions into the universe, creating a beautiful mosaic of unity and healing. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Emma looked around, witnessing the profound transformation in the children. Their playful spirits echoed deeper understanding and belonging. Maxwell and Lila were lost in their creations, laughter swirling in the air like anointing in that sacred space. Emma felt her spirit lift higher. No longer was she merely a mother, praying for her own miracles, she was now a conduit of divine love. Their offerings echoed back into the heavens, fertile ground for miracles to take root. As the day came to a close, each offering was placed back into the box, transformed by the collective spirit of hope and love. They buried it again, under the roots of the oak, a secret waiting to be uncovered again. Emma knelt to say a final prayer, her heart overflowing. Lord, thank you for guiding us through this day. Thank you for the miracles that are unfolding, not just for me, but for these precious children. Let our love plant seeds of joy for those who come after us, a true reflection of your grace. And then, up above, as the first stars began to twinkle in the sky, a soft breeze caressed Emma's face. She felt it an unmistakable affirmation of what was to come. She could see it happening, her son thriving, their bond deepening, and healing spilling forth into every heart they touched. That evening, as they headed home, the world seemed brighter. Emma's heart sang with joy as she watched Maxwell and Lila play, jumping into their newfound friendship. The miracles she had prayed for were sprouting all around. There, in that moment of simple beauty, she understood deeply, divine doors of miracles weren't merely waiting to be opened, they were being built in every act of love and kindness. Emma smiled, knowing the journey was only just beginning. Now is the time to take action. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel so you won't miss the next exclusive faith stories that will uplift your spirit and ignite your soul. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and spread this message of hope to others. Comment your reactions and testimonies about this powerful ending. Sharing your story inspires countless hearts. And please, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this miraculous manifestation. Don't wait even one more second to support this channel. True servants of God know the importance of spreading divine love and hope to the world.